All right, well, welcome back, everybody. We are going to have another guest today for our professional interview series. Today we have Mr. Marlon Sams. Marlon, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good. Marlon, what kind of weather you have?
We're having a little bit of everything. We've had the ice, we've had rain, we've had snow, we've had freezing temperatures, so
Is,
we're
uh,
enjoying it.
is everybody getting around safely for their needs, at least?
Yeah, the first couple of days it was kind of slick with the ice storm, but after that, I've got, I'll brag on my public works department. They do a great job keeping the city salted and scraped.
Yeah. Well, tell us what you do. You know what your title is and what you do.
I am the city manager for the city of Corbin, Kentucky. A city manager is probably a person that just maintains control of all the employees. I do all the day-to-day operations of operating the city with my department heads, from the public works department to the recreation department, recycling, uh, arena manager that we have. We do that too. So, and then provide the budgets each year for our city, work with my mayor and four commissioners. Uh, the city manager does the recommendations. He doesn't vote. I present things to them, let them vote on it,
Yeah.
yes or no.
And how long have you been there in that position?
I've been in that position going on my 10th year. I've been with the city of Corbin 29 years.
So, what'd you do before you were a city manager?
I started out as a Parks and Recreation Director for 17 and a half years. And before that, I was the code enforcement for the city of Corbin. Uh, Left for 1 year for some other business, came back and started a recycling program and for the city, and was Parks and Recreation Director after that. So,
Are
been
you
with the
originally
city
from that
quite a while.
area?
Yes, born and raised here in Corbin.
So, and for folks that don't know, Corbin's what would you say, like an hour north of Knoxville?
We're an hour north of Knoxville and about an hour south of Knoxville and an hour north of Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay, and
So
then so graduated from high school there. Where did you get your undergraduate education for your college?
I did 1 year at the University of Cumberland in Williamsburg, and then did 1 year at EKU. Uh, Came home a summer and was working, met my wife, and never went back to school. So,
Well, I knew you had a connection to EKU. I didn't know
yes,
about the one at Cumberland.
yes, I was
So,
there for a year, and then at EKU for a year.
and then the wife found you, tied you down, and kept you there, huh?
Ever since, going on 2 years.
Good grief. And how
Yeah,
many kids do y'all have?
I have two daughters,
And what are they
and
doing right now?
one of my daughters lives in Lexington. Her husband works with Tempur-Pedic up there in Lexington,
Yeah.
and she's a teacher, English teacher at Tates Creek. And then I have my younger daughter is a sophomore at the University of Cumberland in Williamsburg.
Okay. I think I saw. That's what I was wondering. I thought I saw one of them was in college still, and I wasn't sure.
Yes,
Very good.
yes, that's my young one. We had a 12-year difference in our daughters. So,
How is that advisable? Would you tell somebody else to do that?
no. The youngest one was a miracle baby, and we weren't expecting her, but
Yeah.
life gives you different avenues you're going to go on. So,
Right.
it's been great.
We've got we've got a son that's 23 now, and then when I was in Kentucky, we adopted two little girls, and they're 9 and 12.
Yes.
So we've dipped back into that younger, and I love them, but I'm also ready to be an empty nester.
Yeah, that too. So, but then grandkids come along and you really love that.
Right?
I've
You
got
can
a
give
little,
those back, right? You can, oh, thanks,
yes.
and then well, so what I wanted, I guess the next thing is, you talked a little bit about what you've done in the past. Could you tell us a little about your time as a Parks and Rec director there in Corbin? What you did, what you felt were some great experiences you had?
I took over after the first original parks director was there for about 12 years. And then there was about a 4 month period. They hired someone else. Uh, I was second in the list to hire. the opportunity came along, and I came in and just, you know, everybody has a different way of running stuff, and a lot of the Parks Park department was older. We did a lot of changing, brought in some new stuff, brought in some upgrades on our ball fields, upgrades on our basketball courts, got our leagues going a little bit better than they were.
What are some of the big things you accomplished while you were in that position?
My first thing was getting a grant for LWCF grant right off bat the first week I was there to redo our city pool that had been built in 1962. So we got a lot to put into that one. That was a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I learned right off the fly. First week I'd been there, the mayor calls me and said, "This grant needs to be turned in. You've got 2 days to do it in." So luckily, I worked with our ad board, called some people up there, and we got the grant and put the liner in. And then it's took me almost 25 years now going on it, but we have started a 2.4 million Little League complex for our baseball here in Corbin, which is a big thing, and we do a lot of travel ball in this area. So we are in the process of building that. I would say that's my biggest accomplishment
Sure.
as a city manager and as a parks director.
Sure. And that's going to bring in, I mean, if you think about like the economic impact of that for the city of Corbin's a big deal too.
Absolutely, tourism dollars, it will bring them in. Travel baseball is just big in this area, the whole state of Kentucky. And we're doing girls softball too, so that's a big thing that draws people in too. And it's a community place. We're going to have a walking trail around it. We'll have outdoor fitness equipment, uh, pickleball court, basketball court, batting cages. So it's going to be a real neat place.
So I know, we talked a little bit about your time there, and then since you've become a city manager, how you've worked with different parks and rec directors. Um, what kind of experiences and background do you look for in somebody that's going to be stepping into a role like a parks and recreation director for a city like Corbin?
The first thing is you want to look for experience, I think. Uh, as I was talking earlier with you, parks and recreation, if you're getting into that field, is a 24/7 job. Uh, you're basically married to that job if you've got a large enough park system, or regardless if you've got a small or large. Uh, you've got to be adaptable to each season that comes along. Got to be adaptable to people. Little Johnny don't get in the game, although it's a league sponsored type league. You hear it before the league does. So
Yeah.
you just got to be open. You got to be ready to take on the community. Is what I say. That was one of the things I said from the beginning. I took on this job, but I took on the community also.
Yeah. And it takes certain personality traits to be able to handle that with grace, right?
It does. And you got to be able to listen to your leaders, listen to your mayor and city commissioners, listen to the community, and excuse me. Both of us were involved in the Kentucky Recreation Park Society, and I still am. And just networking is a big thing I learned too to help me in the day-to-day operations of a park system.
And I was going to ask about that. And that's how I met you, is through KRPS there. Um, how long have you been involved, and what kind of stuff have you been involved with through KRPS?
Through KRPS, I've been involved in it about, I guess it's going on about the 12th year. Started out as a member. I have worked my way up. I was president back in 2015, 16. Still involved in it. I'm actually the citizen rep right now on the board. And then that helps to deal with Frankfurt and different things going on there. It gives us a membership with the Kentucky League of Cities. And we've had 2 or 3 bills this year that's came through the legislation that deals with parks and recreation. One of them was a splash pad issue, and the other one was a day camp issue. So
And I
it
think
helps to be involved in that KRPS through the state. And I've learned a lot through the people there over the years. Dr. McChesney and you and different people that I've been involved with, learned things from you all.
And I think the that's a part of Parks and Recreation people don't think about is that legislative and advocacy aspect of it. And
Yes,
and people don't realize that their professional association membership also helps advocate on our behalf of our profession, right?
absolutely. Yeah, the splash pad issue came up last year, and it was just, to open up a splash pad that's basically a splash pad on concrete water. They were wanting us to have all these requirements, and I contacted Kentucky League of Cities and said, this has to be changed. The Kentucky Recreation Park Society, our executive director, she worked with me, and we got, hopefully the bill was introduced. Due to the weather, it's kind of been in a delay, but right now we think it'll get passed, so we don't have to have all the requirements. They was wanting a shepherd's hook and buoy and a telephone there for people to call and a backboard, and who's going to administer that backboard? A mom and another little kid. So kind of ridiculous. So
Yeah.
in today's society, everyone has a cell phone, so you really don't need a phone.
Well, it's one of those things that it's probably coming from a good place, somebody trying to do the right thing, and just
Yes,
they're not sure, or they just don't know about what the standards are within the Parks and Rec profession, or related to splash pads specifically here, right?
mhm, right. Just with the day camp issue this year and the weekly camps that Parks Departments put on, they were wanting to have so many requirements that it would have broke you up just to do the background checks. So we
Yeah.
worked on that and got that changed.
So one of the things I was going to ask you is, when whether you think about your Parks and Rec director position previously, or where you're at as a city manager, what are some of your favorite things about what you do, as far as those two positions? As far as what's your favorite parts of those jobs?
I think interacting with people. I'm a people person. My wife and daughters have always said that. Just getting to know people in your community, working with them, being involved with them from when their kids are playing to now their kids are playing and their grandkids are playing. So it's kind of that's my thing. Just being involved in the community. Corbin's a kind of a unique place. We're a sports type town in this area, and competing all the time, from the high school level down to the little league level. Just everybody's involved in it.
Yeah. So the last thing I have is I was going to ask, when you think about your career path, and if there's folks out there that are considering going that route, whether it's the Parks and Rec director, or maybe they want to move into it as like a city manager type position at some point. What are some pieces of advice you give to folks who are thinking about that?
I think getting a degree is the first thing. I didn't do that. I got lucky and worked in the right place at the right time and got moved up. But getting experience, doing an internship with the city, at lower level, from maybe in the building and code enforcement or in the engineering part of it, get in there and get involved in it. And then if that's your field you want to get into, start looking at coming into a supervisor role or different things. But I'd say get your degrees is the first thing I would recommend. I think the
Yeah,
background with a degree anymore is the main thing.
sure.
And that's something I look at now too. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's a different world. I know, just when I was younger, and I don't consider myself old, but at this point, when they say 20 years ago and it was 2000 or whatnot, I feel older, but
right.
I just think about how much of that has changed even in my lifetime.
Yes,
And I try to tell the students, I'm like, if it's changed that much that quick, just imagine what it's going to be for you in 20 years.
absolutely. I mean,
So,
it's, 20 years don't seem like that long ago, but things have changed so much in those 20 years
yeah,
in parks and recreation and city management, anything like that. It's changed a lot.
yeah. Well, just the fact that we can do this, I'm sitting here in Arkansas and you're in
I
Kentucky.
know. I got
uh,
into zooming. I learned a little bit every day, but I'm ready to go back to the normal way.
yeah, same here. Same
Yeah.
here. The last thing I was going to ask before I let you go is, and I ask this of everybody I talk to, is if you could say or have your dream job, what would your dream job be?
If my dream job would be to coach high school football and teach high school. That would be my dream job. I always enjoyed that. I'm very active in our sports here at our local high school.
Yeah.
You know, it was always a dream of mine, but life took me in a different way,
Sure.
and I don't regret that either. So
Yeah. Well, and you still, I'm sure, like you said, you've got ways to, still be involved and advocate for those types of things. So, well, Marlon, that's all I got for you. I surely appreciate your time and let me pester you with some questions.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Miss seeing you at our meetings before, but enjoy Arkansas.
Yeah, absolutely. I plan to get back there at some point.
Just keep fishing too. I enjoy your fishing.
Well, if you come out this way, I'm gonna make you go out there with me.
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
All
Fishing's one of my hobbies too.
right. All
So
right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Marlon, thank you so much. I'll let you go.
good seeing you. Thank you,
You as
sir.
well. Bye bye.
Bye bye.